are open, besides photos, besides audios, besides videos. The thing that is also why OER works so perfectly in university context is that it saves a whole lot of textbook money. I know that Sana have told me recently that there are no textbooks in Tunisia or Morocco or in the North Africa region, but worldwide and in other parts of the Arab world, it's actually saving students a whole lot of money to buy textbooks. So what does Creative Commons do to help build an OER movement? It works on different levels. First, there are the licenses that we're going to talk about in a bit, and then there are OER policies that we help institutes and governments create, and then there are the OER resources themselves by people generating content, and then there are OER projects that we implement worldwide to sustain the OER movement. So first you see all of these symbols, like you have been seeing them in a while in Sana's presentation, in the Moodle, in Joe's presentation, and you wonder what are these symbols, like what do they mean? And it's like really simple, it's just copyright licenses that are free. So there are three types of licenses. There is either copyright, which we all know, right? Like Jamiat Hukuk Mahfouza?
Yes.
Yes, we're all familiar with it. So there is that. And then there is the public domain. Public domain is anything that is old, that has been over 30 years, that is now open for anyone to use. Like silent movies, they are open, like public domain. Nobody owns them anymore. Everybody can use them. And then it's either too open that there's no attribution, no one knows who did them, or people just are allowed to forget who used them, nobody makes money out of them. And then there is copyright, which basically locks up your work. It does not. You become a slave for the publication companies. Like most of you here are doctors at universities and professors at universities, so you know how it goes. You do a research, you have to publish it, pay to publish it, and then they just slave it. They put it there, you have to pay money to read it, nobody can access it until they are paying to see it. So it goes all over to textbooks as well. Like even if you want to do your own curriculum, you have to suffer, you have to keep thinking, am I breaching any law? Am I doing copyright infringement? What do I do? So here where Creative Commons come. So what is Creative Commons? It's just a set of licenses that are built on copyright, which makes works and publications and educational material more accessible to both professors and the students and to the general public. So they allow you to do certain stuff that copyright wouldn't allow you. So the first one is attribution. It doesn't mean that if you open up your work that it's not attributed to you. Any work that has been created and shared under Creative Commons, it should be attributed. Like I would say Sana did it, I would say Joe did it, I would say like this person and this person has created this piece of work. So attribution is the most basic, and it goes like this is the least you can license under. It's CC BY. And then there is non-commercial. Sometimes you want to do your work, you want to share it, you've written a book, you want students to read it, you want students to take aspects of it, you want other researchers to be benefiting from it and building on it, but you don't want them to be like making money of something that you have put so much effort, like 2-3 years of effort into it. So you can tell them, okay, fine, you can take the work that I have done, the research that I've done, the educational material that the university have put resources into. Like if Sousse University decides to put 5 or 6 staff and the IT department and then get the material in the library to open access, this is investment. And Sousse University at this point don't want other people to make money out of it because it is the university resource. Because most probably it's public funds, it's the money of the people. So Sousse University can come and say like, no, you cannot use it commercially. You can use it for the public good, you can use it for education purposes, but no, you cannot make money out of it because it's public fund, for example. And then there is another license which is no derivative work. For example, in Lebanon, we have very specific regulations in elementary education and in public schools and universities about the curriculum. Like, we want a specific way of putting the university curriculum or the school curriculum. So if we want to put things out in the public, we don't want teachers to change them or other countries to change them. So we use no derivative works, which means you take it as it is. You cannot do changes to it. So if you put this license, it means whatever, I'm a professor, I created this curriculum, you can take it as is, but you cannot change it. And then there is share alike. And this is an amazing way, because if you use this license, you're locking the work into open. Like if you say share alike, it means that the other person who is using your own work have to share their work under an open license as well. So basically, whatever has been created in open by the collaboration of so many people, it stays in the open and it stays public knowledge. So how does the licenses work? It's like basically a combination of things. CC is an only, like copyright is an only symbol. But here it works from the more open until the less open. So it's a combination of the licenses that makes a license of your choice. The most open is CC0, and it's basically like public domain, but it doesn't have to get old. You do something and you release it to the public good. And then there is the less open, which is by non-commercial and no derivative. And people sometimes start here and they move up the ladder. But anything that is open educational resource, it has to be within this. It cannot be these. So no derivative is not a good license for open educational material. You want people to change your work. You want people to adapt in accordance to your curriculum. Also, you have to think about it as a two-way street, in a sense that you are creating your own material, but you're also using other people's material. So if you're saying no derivative, like no, you cannot change whatever I've done, you're rendering it sort of loose, like useless in a bit. So if you commit to these licenses, then you are doing like a CC license work. You're opening up the works that you are working on. So who can use CC licenses? Like, okay, fine. Now it looks, the way I explained it, it looks more of a lawyer's thing. But actually, it's not a lawyer thing. Lawyers can use it, machines can understand it, and anyone can use it, in a sense that. First of all, you tell me, like, how do I put all of these licenses on my work? Like, what do I do? Where do I get them from? All of these icons, how do I get them? All you have to do is to go to the licenses, creativecommons.org/licenses, and then you follow a very simple procedure that later on I can show you on my computer how it's very simply done. You can go to the website, say like, I want my work to be attributed to me, which is granted. And then I want it not to be commercially used, and then I want it to be derivative. Like I want other people to remix my work. And then as simple as that, you get the icons, you just copy paste them on your website, or you copy paste them on your PDF file or Word document. So, which makes Creative Commons usable by everyone. And then there is the lawyers. Like one of the hardest challenges that we face in Creative Commons is that when we come to institutes, and we tell them you have to open up. And then the first barrier, the first wall that we have to deal with are the lawyers. No, you cannot, this is university propriety. No, you cannot do this, this is copyright infringement, how we can do that? And so the licenses are explained well enough in English, in all of the languages that are available in the world. Arabic is now, the 4.0 licenses is very well explained and worked on by 12 lawyers from all over the Arab world, so they can be functional in Arab courts, in Tunisian courts, in Lebanese courts, in all of the courts of the MENA region. So when we start sitting with them, showing them the licenses, they become more flexible towards using it. They know what it means, they know exactly how it's applicable by law, so we're on the safe side with that. And then there's machines, like how do we, then there comes the IT department. How are we going to do this on the website? I've seen that you already did a model website in Sousse University. So basically this is an IT issue, like how can we do that? How can we know which material to use, which material not to use, what makes, this is a technical mess up, but the licenses are really well worked on from our technical team, that their metadata is very well used. And now we're working on blockchain technology in a sense that you can track where your work goes. Because, for example, if a professor from Sorbonne comes and uses the work of a professor from Sousse University, Sousse University professor will be able to see how his work has been done, like how his work has been used. And this is credential. This is when your research has been used by another professor from around the world, it's something great. It's something, this is what every professor aspires to do. This is what gives credential to their research and to their work. And then this was about the licenses part. Now, if there's any question, we can do it later. But there's the OER policies, and it's a bit what Joe has talked about, that usually in educational institutes, it's about the policy of the university. And above the policy of the university is the policy of the country. And we have countries that have made national commitments to do OER. And currently it's 14, and we are in discussions with all of the MENA Arab region to actually make OER and open education as a national commitment. So it's there in the policies, in the country policies, in the higher education ministry's policies, that we should be doing OER. All universities should try and achieve openness. So in the Arab world region, we've been working closely with Saudi Arabia. They are already on the Ministry of Education level. They are working on the policy changes. There's also OER Lebanon. They're working with the Ministry of Education as well to implement OER policy and make it like a requirement in each and every educational institute, at least the higher level educational institute. We have an OER policy registry. The link is up there. You can check all of the policies that the countries have been working on. The nice thing that they are also licensed under Creative Commons, so you can pick bits and pieces to create your own policy. We offer consultation in Creative Commons for governments to do their own policies. Of course, we have a meeting with UNESCO to promote open educational resources with GC states, and the result of it, I think Bahrain and Oman are now adapting open educational policies. We have Open Policy Network, and this is where you go if you decide at some point to create an open policy. You go to this website and we can offer you all of the help that you need to create your own policy. We have Institute of Open Leadership. It happens in South Africa, but and in other places, like every year it takes a place in some different country. And this is where people can sign up to become openness leaders. And it's done in collaboration with Creative Commons. So this is the educational part. Should I move forward, or like you're tired by now? So this is like a shorter part of the presentation, and I'm going to go fast about the resources that the universities can use to obtain open educational resources. So open educational resources are teaching and learning and research materials that are derived in many forms and shapes. It could be textbooks, it could be courses, it could be photos, it could be videos, it could be online simulations, and that's something amazing in physics when you have like simulants of formulas. Like I wish that this was existent during my education. So we deal with lots of platforms that often offer open educational resources. Some of them, one of the first places you can go to find open educational material are the general search. You can go to Google Advanced Search, and then you can assign the license. I don't know if it's clear, but if you go to Advanced Search of Google Doc, you can find lots of CC licensed material. You can go to Creative Commons Search. It's creativecommons.org/search, and you can find a whole lot of material. Wikimedia Commons also is a wealth of photos and videos and clips. Flickr has a whole lot of resources as well. Now we worked with the Qatar Digital Library, and basically they have this complete archive about the history of the region and how it was formatted. And they've done this project in collaboration with the British National Library. It's a wealth of resources. So you can search for clip arts, you can search for videos, and I have this presentation uploaded on SlideShare/Neimee ZAREEF, so you can just download it. I'm going to give it to Ziad. So if you need these researches, you can go again to the presentation and check them out online. You can find music and audio, general education search. There are also the recorded lectures and video tutorials on Khan Academy and on MIT.